Hi, folks. My name is Tuesday Chambers, and I am the Ballard High School librarian. I am also the News Literacy Project ambassador, and I am so excited to talk to you today about the News Literacy Project and how to stop misinformation. This is going to be a two-part series, folks. So this first part is going to be all about teaching news literacy with Checkology and how you can encourage your students and teach them valuable skills to tell the difference between fact and fiction. Today's students are just inundated with rumors and conspiracy theories and false information, and they're all competing for attention alongside facts and evidence and truth. And let's face it, young people need to be able to be prepared to recognize the difference between fact and fiction so they can successfully navigate and play a role in shaping this large, complex information landscape. So, this is why I encourage you to learn more about the News Literacy Project. And I'm going to share a little bit about some of the lessons that you can use, some of the ways you can introduce to your staffs, to your students, and just really give you an idea of a resource that I think is going to be very valuable. So, the News Literacy Project feels that information is the basis for civic literacy, agency in action, that students are inheriting the largest and most complex information landscape ever, and that it's our job that we must prepare them to successfully navigate and play a role in shaping this landscape. And this is where it gets really sad, folks, because in 2019, there was a study, and it was about 3,500 students. And when they surveyed these students, 96% of them didn't consider why ties between the climate change website and fossil fuel industry might lessen the site's credibility. Yeah. Um, 68% couldn't tell the difference between news and sponsored content or advertising at a news site's homepage. And then this is also concerning. 52% believe that this grainy video of ballot stuffing that was actually shot in Russia was strong evidence of voter fraud in the US. Folks, when we think about what our future is going to look like, students not being able to discern fact from fiction is heartbreaking. And so I just want you to think of any times that you have had where your students shared misinformation with you, or what you believe the consequences of creating and sharing misinformation are. I know we've all been guilty of it, accidentally. And so I just want you to imagine a future where this is the norm. So, news literacy education. This empowers people to take responsibility for their information. It means that we help form informational habits and help stop the spread of harmful misinformation. And it basically affects everything in our daily lives, so from healthcare to finances to personal values. And if we can't agree on basic facts, then we can't make well informed decisions about our lives and our governance. So, this isn't a political agenda. This is people of all ages and backgrounds with news literacy skills that can be more active in their communities and more equal and engaged participants in civic life. The next 6 slides are going to highlight 3 abilities to central to news literacy and 10 teachable skills to help build those abilities with your students. One of the first ones is going to be a newsletter student should be able to look at a social media post on the right and know how to determine the credibility of that posted image and source. This one is, if you think about it, teachable skill, is just determining credibility, like fact checking, identifying misinformation, identifying the purpose of information. For instance, is it entertainment? Is it advertising? Opinion, propaganda, raw information, or news? So, I mean, the question would always go to, do you already teach any of these skills? I'm guessing many of you do, but probably not all. And so, is there a way that you teach it? And is there a way that you can teach more of these? And is there a way we can get better at teaching them? And I would argue, of course, yes, always. A news literate student should be able to analyze a news report and its publisher to determine whether or not to share it. I think that's a good skill. So, um, in terms of teaching these skills, what are the standards of quality journalism to decide what to trust, share, and act on? Do you already teach any of these skills? Are your students like my students and confounded when they can't, when they hit a paywall and they're like, why can't I get access to this? And I'm like, because it's journalism and you have to pay for it. And so, how do we teach students about qualities of journalism? A news literate student should be able to positively contribute to the information landscape. So, some of the skills that we can teach students to help engage with news and other information in ways that promote engaged participation in civic life um, include understanding the First Amendment and its protections, understanding journalists' watchdog role, identifying four main elements of press freedom. So now that I've revved you up, got you excited, and you're like, yes, 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 Tuesday, I agree with everything you said. I want to teach these skills and more. I'm going to share with you a tool that the News Literacy Project has that I think will be very valuable for you. This is the tool that you can use in station rotations, choice boards. You can teach the whole class, small groups, and it encompasses lessons that are part of an e-learning platform. And so it's free, it's browser based. It empowers educators to teach news literacy to middle school and high school students. You develop this ability to identify credible information, and then you seek out reliable sources and apply critical thinking skills to separate fact based content from falsehoods. I can tell you, um, educators love it because it's an it's used by all it's used by educators in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. It offers this really high quality news literacy lessons that are up to date, that are easily incorporated. And I am an ambassador. I use it. I connect it to different subjects. It is designed to help students develop to be active consumers of news and information in different content areas. Allows them to be engaged. It encourages them to be participants in democracy. The lessons themselves are developed with the help of top news and media experts, and then they cover relevant, important topics like understanding bias and conspiratorial thinking. So I'm going to now preview a brief demonstration of student view for two Checkology lessons. And I'm just going to preview one. But you're welcome to preview both. I'm going to make these slides available to you after this discussion, my virtual topics, my virtual lesson. And then depending on the presentation time, you are welcome to continue on with it. So let's pause for just a moment and make sure the sound is on. And of course it wasn't. Okay. Wish that was the default. Okay. We're going to folks, that was our video. I am going to share with you right now um, how you can make customizable settings for your classes. And that way it will help suit whatever learning environment or content area you have. And then how you assign your colleagues as co-teachers. There's all these ways you can turn on one-to-one lesson mode, so you can screen share lessons or course lock to certain students, or make it so that you have to finish one assignment before you get to the next one. So I just want to be really clear how incredibly valuable this is, and customizable it is for your classes. So um, in addition, there's a journalist tab in Technology that allows you to search and filter through over 100 journalists, and you can even invite them to your classroom. So when you decide to invite, you can read through their areas of expertise, you can look at their work availability, and then you could actually have a journalist available for virtual connections, and you can search journalists within your area to try to set something up in person. There are exercises and challenges to help you practice and extend your news literacy learning. Students can utilize the tools and tips in the Check Center to enhance their research and fact checking skills. And then you can assign the ones that are most appropriate for your students. So Check Center missions help them practice their tools. But it helps them practice their tools, tips in real world scenarios in a course. And finally, it helps them check out resources that are supplemental content, and it makes it all accessible to your students. So it's really, really easy to use, and easy to assign, and easy to see the success for the students. So during the last school year, more than 2,400 educators used this tool. They used it with over 100,000 active students. In a 21 to 22 survey, uh, respondents were overwhelmingly positive and said they enjoyed it, and that it was valuable. So I want us to be really thoughtful about how we can use this resource in the future. And if you have any questions for me, please email me at tschambers@seattleschools.org. And folks, please contact me if you are interested in registering. It is free, again, free. Just need to go to um, newslit.org. So uh, this is part one of the News Literacy Project recording, and I will be doing part two very soon. All right, thank you so much. And again, my name is Tuesday Chambers. I am the Ballard High School librarian. I'm a content specialist for Seattle Public Libraries, Seattle Public School Libraries, and I am also a news literacy project ambassador. So any questions, please email me at tschambers@seattleschools.org. Thank you.